Hare Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatade Satadine, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam, Pangum Nangvete Girim, Yat Kupa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarine. Hare Krishna. So we'll see verse number 21. Krishna is explaining about the three types of people who directly don't surrender. So he has explained about Vishwato Mukham. Now he is explaining Pruthatvena, people who worship him indirectly. So yesterday we saw, the last verse, it was mentioned that to attain the Swarga Loka, they do the Punya Karma. And by doing the Punya Karma, they attain the Swarga Loka. And then they enjoy the long pleasure there. So what happens after that enjoyment? That is explained in this verse. So let us see this verse. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam
त्वेतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं
क्षणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
एवं त्रैधर्मम् अनुप्रपन्ना
एवं त्रयी धर्मं अनुप्रपन्ना
गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते
गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते
एतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम्
एतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं
क्षणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति
एवं त्रैधर्मम् अनुप्रपन्ना
एवं त्रयी धर्मम् अनुप्रपन्ना
गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते
गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते
Please chant.
ते तां भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्मम् अनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते.
Okay. Translation and purport. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek a sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Purport. One who is prompted to the higher planetary system enjoys a longer duration of life and better facilities for sense enjoyment, yet one is not allowed to stay there forever. One is again sent back to this earth upon finishing the resultant fruits of pious activities. He also has not attained perfection of knowledge, as indicated in Vedanta Sutra, Janmadi Asya Yata. Or in other words, he who fails to understand Krishna, the cause of all causes, becomes baffled about achieving the ultimate goal of life and thus subjected to the routine of being promoted to higher planets and then coming down, again coming down, as if situated on the Ferris wheel, which sometimes goes up, sometimes goes down. The purport is that instead of being elevated to the spiritual world from which there is no longer any possibility of coming down, one simply revolves in the cycle of birth and death on higher and lower planetary system. One should better take to the spiritual world to enjoy an eternal life full of bliss and knowledge and never return to this miserable material existence. So here Krishna is explaining about the temporary nature of the enjoyment that these people achieve. So similar type of explanation has come in previous chapters also, in the second chapter also. Krishna says, I think 41, 42 or 43 verse, that these people, those who worship for the temporary results are not very intelligent. Because in the seventh chapter also Krishna says that those who run behind the temporary results, they have to do it again and again. So here also Krishna is explaining the same thing, that even if they achieve the Swarga Loka, the life is not eternal. It's going to finish. So what is the life in Swarga Loka, or the enjoyment that is done in the Swarga Loka is like, there we don't create new punya karma. I think we only use whatever punya karma we have done in these earthly planets, and we consume that in the Swarga Loka. So like I'm doing job now. Anybody is doing the job. He earns money. Okay, he works, he earns money, he spends money, some money he saves in the bank. Okay, and then okay, after some people decide, okay, now I want to take 6 months of break from the work. I want to go for world tour. So then people take break from the work. So when they are in the break to enjoy, to see the whole world, they go to different beautiful places and everywhere. So what they do, they use the money that they have saved in the job. And once that money is going to finish, they come back. They have to come back to work again. Right? So that is the cycle. So okay, I work 1 year, I save money, then I go to some country for picnic or trip. I enjoy there. Money is finishing. I come back. I work again. Again I go. Again work. Again go to enjoy. So this is also cycle. Right? But when we are going to enjoy in some other country or some other place, what we are going, we are exhausting the money that we have saved. Similarly, the Krishna is telling that when they enjoy Bhukta Swarga Lokam Vishalam, when they enjoy vast, very large pleasure in the Swarga Loka, they have to come back to Martya Loka. So actually, like Amartya Loka means the earthly planets, right? They have to come back here again. And Swarga Loka is also not eternal. Right? There also the death is there, finish is there. They cannot live eternally there. So they have to come back. So what happening? The people. So if we follow the Trai Dharma, here the word used is Trai Dharma. The last verse the word used was Trai Vidya. So whatever the three Vedas tell about the karma kanda practice, and doing the good karma and attaining the good results, the effect of that is temporary. It will finish. So what happens? Gata gatam kama kama lamante. So they keep repeating the same thing. And then they desire for gata gatam. So they take birth and they die. They take birth, they do good karma, they go to the higher planets, they finish the punya karma, they come back. Again, they start working. So this cycle goes on. Like what the example I was telling is, I work, then I go for picnic or trip, I spend the money, then I again come back, I work, again I go for enjoyment to other country, again I come back. So this type of process keeps on going. So if we see this type of enjoyment is very difficult. So for enjoying in particular Swargaloka, particular enjoyment, you have to do lot of punya karma on this earthly planet. And it's when we do punya karma also, it is not very easy to live in this world. Right? When we in doing with punya karma, we have to go through lot of hard work, lot of problems, everyday problems, every year problems, every moment problems. Lot of struggle is there. And then what we get is Sarga Loka, which is temporary. So you cannot have eternal enjoyment there. So an intelligent person, so that's why Krishna said previously that they are not very intelligent because they are running behind the temporary things. So Krishna is telling that ultimately you are worshipping, you are trying to worship Krishna, but indirectly by worshipping the devatas. That's not very intelligent. It will be it's actually a continuous hard work. So uh, so in last 3 to 4 verses, Krishna has told like Vishwatomukam people are also uh, doing worship of the temporary things in the material world. Sun, moon, rain, fire, these things they are worshipping, but they are the devatas are also temporary. So their worship is also temporary. So the results that they get also temporary. So the other people who Krishna Prutatvena, who people who worship the devatas, they also get the Swarga Loka for enjoyment, but results are temporary. So Krishna, and for that you have to go through lot of hard work to doing the punya karma. You have to take a lot of struggle. So this way of life is not easy life. It's a difficult life, and you are going through lot of pain to achieve pain again. You are not getting any enjoyment is as such. Temporary enjoyment for some time, but afterwards suffer. And what happens? Gata gatam kama kamam. So you keep desiring. You always keep desiring, never finishes. This we also have experience, right, in our day-to-day life. Sometimes in one day, even if during the work, the time is good, you don't have to go through a lot of pain, then you think the work is good. Some days the work is very difficult and very hard work, then you think, oh, it's a hard work. I don't want. Next day again you want it. So what you keep desiring, I don't want hard days. I want good days, normal days. So what happens? The desires are continuously coming. It's not finishing. So kama kama labante. That's what we get. Always desiring to have desires. For what? For enjoyment. Swargalokam vishalam bhuktva. Uh, the enjoyment. So this keeps on going, and this is going on for don't know how many years, how many lifetimes we are doing the same thing. So now Krishna is going to tell, because the chapter is the most confidential knowledge. So he has told that if you look for the temporary results, it's not going to satisfy you. That's not very intelligent. So now Krishna will speak about the what is the good work, what is the easy path, what is the simpler way to achieve real happiness, which is eternal. How you can do that? So that Krishna will start speaking from the next verse. So that there Krishna explains very important verses there, and Krishna will talk how it is easy to do bhakti, which is the most secret. So we'll show those very interesting verses from tomorrow about bhakti. Hare Krishna. So any doubts, questions, reflections? Okay, Hare Krishna. So let's see about Bhakti Yoga, why it is so important from tomorrow's verses. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, thank you so